So basically, all in one episode, Jackie, you backpedaled all the way back to where you were, what, 2 years ago? In one episode. You have got to be kidding me.
And I'm like, come on through, Corky. I'm going up on my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Basketball Wives. This is season 8, episode 9. I can't believe that we literally sat here and watched Jackie turn back into messy ass Jackie Christie in one episode. I'm shocked. I am shocked. Anyway, first thing we see Malaysia and Kristen. They had taken the kids to one of those trampoline parks. It was cute. And she was talking about giving, Kristen was talking about giving a 90s themed skating party. Or 80s theme. I think it was 80s theme. Yeah, it's an 80s theme. Skating party. And Cece was not going to be invited. I was like, Lord have mercy. Okay. Good. Then we see Jackie, OG, and Jennifer. And OG she's bothered, because I think her feelings are a little hurt about the Cece stuff. I think that was more of it. I think it's more of a thing where her feelings were hurt. And she was a little upset about the fact of not owning what was said. Not the fact that she said she was ugly and all of that, but the fact of not owning it, and then just saying, this, I didn't really know you back then or whatever, and I just said that, she just is doing what Cece does. No, I didn't do it. She's a liar. Anyway, then there was this whole little situation where there was this phone call, because there was supposed to be a guy in Atlanta that had all these different things to say about Malaysia and her children and how she was raising the kids and that she wasn't a good mother and all of this kind of carrying on. I'm like, okay, what is all that about? I'm like, Jackie. Oh, yeah, I heard, I said. Jackie, you might want to stop sharing. Stop sharing. We moved on. We see a scene with Byron and Cece. Cece still not acknowledging that she said what she said about OG. She even was going, because she kept going around and around talking about maybe they were fake text messages. I'm like, girl, you said it, child. Just admit that you said it and let's move on. She was steadily pointing her finger at Kristen, and of course, Byron was. Them two, I can't with them. I've told y'all before. Them two, I just can't. I can't. But last I seen them, they were pointing the finger at Kristen. I said, yeah, okay, whatever. Then we see Jackie again. Jackie, this time she's with Phoebe and Evelyn. Phoebe was explaining her event, because remember, Evelyn wasn't there. Now, me personally, I didn't feel as though Phoebe was taking shots at Tammy. I just, she was just saying what she was saying. Tammy was there and she brought her daughter Jazz with her, and I think it's cool that Jazz is actually helping her with her rapping, because Tammy wants to rap, and Tammy does like old school rap, and I think it's cool that her daughter's helping her with like the newer style stuff. That's all I got out of it. And I think Phoebe, I told you, I think Phoebe's a messy bitch at this point, but that's all I got. I really did. I didn't feel like Phoebe was taking shots at Tammy, but whatever. So again, here we go talking about this person from Atlanta who had this thing to say about Malaysia. Now it's been added that he was talking, the same person was talking about Tammy and saying all this stuff about Tammy and some clothes for a photo shoot, and she supposedly left stains in the crotch, and just some real foul stuff. And I'm saying, okay, and then here goes Jackie again. Oh yeah, I heard it and all of this, and I actually got his phone number. I said, this can't be happening. I can't be watching this girl crawl backwards into a mole hole. They call on the phone. Turns out this person is literally a fan of the show. I said, who is this queen on this phone? Because once she says, this is Evelyn. And he's like, Evelyn Lozana. And then he starts going off, oh, Miss Thing, I love you, girl. Yes, baby girl. Yes, mom. So forth. I said, oh, Jesus. And it was so uncomfortable and so weird because wherever you are watching this, you should feel about this big. And I'm going to tell you why. You were fanning out over Evelyn, and Evelyn was all but laughing at you. And she's like, and thinking to herself, this is a messy queen. You a messy bitch. And she don't think much of you, I promise you. Anyway, I was just like, that was so uncomfortable to watch. I was like, ridiculous. And Jackie, whenever all this break out, you're going to be at the helm of it. You and Malaysia are supposed to be cool. No matter what you've heard, where or how you've heard it, you wrong for going. You literally went into several different cliques of the ladies until you made sure every lady in the circle knew this information. You wrong, Jackie. You wrong. You are the bone carrier for this completely. And then there was more to it. There was, all the stuff about Tammy, all the stuff about Malaysia. Then it was said that he got the information from Jen and Dominique. I said, oh, Lord. It was a whole mess. A whole mess. And they got off the phone. Next, we see OG and Cece get together. And after pulling some teeth, Cece actually finally admitted to OG that she said those things. She apologized. I was like, whatever, who cares? And then she turned around and said, next time you come in to the office, we need to get you some procedures. I said, oh. Then you just got out of a whole tangled web about calling that girl ugly, and now you telling her that she needs some procedures done on her face. I said, well, okay. That's stupid. I was like, whatever, girl. But again, I'm not the only one that thinks OG's ugly, and that's because what? She's ugly, y'all. Y'all can stop trying to figure it out. Stop trying to attack me about. She's ugly to me. She's ugly to me, and I'm not the only person that thinks she's ugly. Okay, she's ugly. Period. Moving on. Tammy, Kristen, Jackie, and OG get together to talk about the party. Tammy ain't coming. Natural. She ain't coming. Then I'm sitting there saying, why Jackie? I haven't wrote it in my notes. Why Jackie? Because now Jackie's talking all of the Malaysia stuff. And this time she's adding on all the Phoebe stuff. All the stuff about what Phoebe supposedly said about Tammy. And she was putting 20 on 10. And I was like, I don't feel like Phoebe was taking shots at Tammy. But when Jackie was telling it, it was being made so salacious. I was like, I can't believe I'm watching Jackie go down this road, but okay. Sure enough, right after that, we see a scene because y'all know how Tammy do. Tammy, OG, and Phoebe meet at this acting class, and right away Tammy starts. She's like, "Yeah, Jackie brought up to me that you said that I was too old to be rapping, and this, that thing, and the other, and on and on and on." And I was like, and Phoebe's like, "I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that." And I'm like, oh, God, some more backpedaling. And I'm like, Phoebe, you said a version of it. But again, I don't feel like Phoebe was being malicious when she did it. And then Phoebe messed up when she took and threw Evelyn under the bus and threw Jen under the bus. I said, whoa, 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 Phoebe, whoa. You know about the Malaysia stuff, and they said that, and they said this, and this. I was like, are you kidding me? Like that was just so unnecessary. You trying to get the spotlight off of you. Tammy got she told the stuff that Jennifer supposedly said about Tammy, about the pants and the credit card declining and all of this. And I'm thinking myself, there must have been some truth to it because Tammy was very embarrassed. Tammy didn't light out. She didn't get defensive and try to. That didn't happen. You know what I mean? She got upset and she ended up leaving. I said, sounds like there's some truth to that. Like it hits you and it hurts you in a way. So that was kind of weird. But I was like, wow. I said, but that little thing where you throwing Evelyn under the bus, I don't think that's the last we're gonna hear of that, Phoebe. I think you get ready to run into Evelyn in her truest form at some point. If it take all the way up to the reunion, you get ready to meet your girl for real. Anyway, we see Jackie and OG. They talk, and OG tells her about the whole meeting with Phoebe, and she's like, I kind of wished that I never said anything to Tammy about the things that Phoebe said, and that's what OG was like. Well, girl, it's too late because they didn't already had a discussion about it. And the next thing I know, Jackie's all hyped up, and Jackie's like, all hyped up about the thing and talking about, if Phoebe come at me, I will hurt her. And I was like, where did all that come from? It was like this energy. I was like, where did all of that? I was shocked, but I said, okay. So the day of the party, child, listen, that damn Evelyn showed up as Peg Bundy, and it was hilarious. Hilarious. She was dead on in character. It was hilarious. But everybody gets there, and they're kind of, it's Kristen, Evelyn, and Phoebe in Malaysia. And they're telling Malaysia what's going on because Kristen's like, I'm not going to let my cousin get blindsided because there's going to be some mess. So she fills her in. And then they will go on and they start skating. Well, as soon as Jennifer and Dominique got their baby, I was like, oh my God, they were clueless as to what was going on. That damn Malaysia, and she had like three of her other cousins was there, female cousins. I said, she kicked them damn skates off so fast she couldn't get them off fast enough. She rolled up on them and was like, hey, y'all. I just want to ask some questions. And then that was the other thing when they were giving the story back, when Evelyn and Kristen and Phoebe were giving the story back, where did the stuff come in that they said that Malaysia's kids was dirty? Because now I didn't hear that. In all those conversations, I did not hear anybody say anything about the kids being dirty. And I was like, well, maybe I just missed it. But that made me pissed off. I was like, what the hell? So Phoebe was saying, I don't know about the dirty kid thing. I said, I ain't hear that either, Phoebe, but whatever. Malaysia approached Dominique and Jennifer. And they were like, oh, no, girl, no. Because she was like, Jennifer, did you say something about my kids? And my parenting? She's like, no. And then she's like, Dominique, she's like, girl, I would never know. Them two were completely clueless as to what was going on. She's like, oh, okay, it's cool, no problem, whatever. She said, she's on back one up. So then Jackie shows up. Now listen to this. Was it me? Or did you all notice? Jackie, first of all, I thought Jackie was drunk. She looked drunk, like old Jackie. And she was already on 10 or 15. Very flippant. Very flippant. And then she comes in with these old queens. And I was like, why are you coming to this party with these men? And you already on one. I think you already came. I think you chose wisely as to who you had escort you. If I'm not bad mistake, there was two of them. It was two of the girls that came with her. And they were in about it type of a mood as well. You were already on one. And Malaysia pulled, she said, Jackie, she's like, okay, we need to talk like serious. We need to talk. And she was just talking to her. And Jackie was very dismissive to Malaysia. And she just came across looking very, very guilty. She came across looking guilty. You've rolled in with a slew of the gays. Y'all all are on one. And it seemed like y'all was all ready for some thumping and throwing down and carrying on. And I just didn't get it. I was like, Jackie, this is too messy. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel organic. It felt like Jackie came there with mess on her mind, but I don't think it was with Malaysia. I think she came there with mess for Phoebe, but she never got the chance to get to Phoebe. And then she was like trying to punk Malaysia and standing all over her. And, I said they was lying. I said they was lying. I'm like, who talks to people like that? It was just, I didn't like it. I didn't like Jackie's energy at all. And I was like, Malaysia, punch her. Punch Jackie, Malaysia. Go ahead. Punch her in the mouth. And then I didn't care for the queens and what they was doing. What are y'all doing? This is a whole room full of women and a whole room full of security. Ain't nobody gonna get a chance to hurt Jackie. And your accompaniment is not needed. I didn't like any of that. I just didn't. I was like, hey, I didn't like the slew of gays on go, and I didn't like Jackie and her drunkenness. And allegedly, but she looked drunk to me. I was like, I didn't like that. But then it just got really out of whack really fast. And Malaysia was climbing tables, and Jackie was grabbing chairs, and Evelyn was like, it was just a mess for me. I just was like, oh God, it's a mess. And then the next thing I know, the gays that were with Jackie was going back and forth with Malaysia's cousins, and that was ugly. And I just didn't like it. Anyway, we'll see what happens next Wednesday. But I don't like it. I don't like it, and I think it's all unnecessary, and it's all Jackie. Everything just screams Jackie at the end. I ain't like it. All right, I'll talk to y'all next week. Didn't like it. Didn't like what it gave. Didn't like the atmosphere. I didn't like it.